Hi, I'm Heather from Hia Booktubes, and today is my first ever video of an ebook haul. I love watching these videos so much, and I often check things out on Kindle Unlimited or through Overdrive from my library without reading them. And the last couple months have been super slumpy for me, so I figured this is a great time to show some books that I haven't actually read yet. So here I am. Quick side note, I am looking for romance booktubers. If you have a favorite that you watch, please comment and tell me their channel name. If you are a smallish romance booktuber who maybe I haven't heard of or haven't been able to find, please comment and tell me that you have a channel because I'm looking for more romance booktubers. If you have similar tastes to me, even better. For sure, feel free to self-promote, feel free to shout out your faves because I want more in my newsfeed and I'm having trouble finding them. So help me out, comment, tell me who you like to watch or if you have a channel. All right, first of all, we have Ashes, which is number 3 in the Dark and You series by Suzanne Wright. I talk about the series all the freaking time, partially because I've been reading it basically since I started the channel. Now, it's been a minute, like over a month, that I've had this book and haven't read it, and I've thought about picking it up multiple times and just haven't. I will, I know I will, haven't yet. This is a continuation of the story of Knox and Harper. They are demons, they are mates, it's an urban fantasy. It's great, you should check it out if you like any of those things. Next is The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I haven't read anything from this author, but I know a bunch of romance booktubers, including Melissa from She's an Open Book, who is the main reason why I bought this book because she tweeted that it was on sale and I was like, you got me. First of all, it's been on so many people's favorite books of the year list and I want to read it. I know it's a gay romance. I know it's a own voices author. It's a really happy romance about a halfway house for paranormal children and this guy's some sort of auditor or something like that and he falls in love with the guy that runs the house and falls in love with the kids and I just hear that it's happy, so happy, and that is my jam. And I really want to read it, but haven't. Next is Restless Slumber by KJ Sutton. This is the second book in the Fortuna Sworn series, and I hear that we get some more steam in this one because the first one was so much sexual tension with nothing acted on, and I was dying. But I hear we get some steam in this one, but I haven't read it yet. The first one, very similar to A Court of Thorns and Roses, almost too similar, as in there's the trials and she has to complete them and there's 3 of them and it's the Fae and she gets tricked and blah 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 blah. Very, very similar. However, I'm hoping that the second book kind of veers off of that. There are a lot of different things about the story. Our main character is a literal nightmare, so she can manifest your deepest, darkest fears. And so it's not the same, but it's very similar in that if you've read both books, you will think to yourself, this is really similar. Her mate is a Fae king and there's other people vying for her romantically and they haven't acted on anything and I just want to know what happens. But I don't know because I haven't read it. Next we have Between Dawn and Dusk by Jamie Schlosser. So I'm sure she has a lot of fun with people saying her name. I believe it's a novella. It's a forbidden romance between a light and a dark fae. I think it's a fae king or a fae prince and a fae princess of the light, and her dad is it doesn't matter that you're gonna die if you don't take your mate after you hear the maiden call or what have you. I don't know. I haven't read the book. You're not gonna marry him out of spite because I hate him, so you can die. And then that doesn't happen, I think. So, haven't read it. I've actually checked out a few books by the Fae. I randomly read 3 Fae reverse harems in a row. They were all okay-ish. Now I'm kind of off of my Fae kick again for a minute. I have these books to read, but I haven't read them. This is what happens to me as a mood reader, okay? I check out or I add a bunch of very similar books because that is the mood that I'm in. And then I get out of that mood, or I read a great one or a not so great one, and then I never read the other ones. But I do plan on reading these, I just haven't. Next is Long Live the King, a royal anthology. This is done by several authors, but most notably Skye Warren. The reason why I picked it up was because Brianna Hale and Katee Robert also have books in it. They're all about royalty, kings, princes, yada yada yada. I think most of them are contemporary, but I don't know for sure. And it was free at the time that I picked it up. I don't know if it still is. Maybe I will include that in text. Nobody knows. You know because you're watching it. I don't know because I'm filming it. Next I have Toxic Desire by Robin Lovett. This is Planet of Desire #1. I've heard a lot of really amazing things about this series. The first book was free, I do believe. And it's about like a golden alien, and this girl like crash lands on his planet, but he's like an aphrodisiac to her. So she doesn't know if it's real, and or she's like not interested at all, but is having horniness. I don't know. But I've heard specifically Avery from Avery Loves Books rant and rave about how amazing it is. So I added it. Then I have Escape the Sea by G. Bailey. All I know about this is a couple people have read it, including Avery, who I just mentioned, and Melissa. And it's a reverse harem pirate romance. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. And I haven't read it. It's a true story. There's a theme to this video. It's all books that I thought sounded amazing and I have added to my Kindle and have not read. Next I have Regally, Bitten, which is Blood Alliance #3 by Lexi C. Foss. The 4th book is coming out in July, which you know if you watch my video. And yeah, it's werewolves. It's a threesome polyamorous relationship between a alpha werewolf, a female alpha werewolf from a different clan who's been given in marriage to him, and then a human who I believe gets turned into a werewolf. The human has been in the 2 previous books, or at least 1 previous book. He's friends with the girl in the 2nd book, and they like came up together in the human pool, if you will. So I really want to read it, and I read a random novella of 2 werewolf guys and a girl, and I was like, this is a lot like Regally Bitten. I bet that's going to be amazing. I should read that. Moving right along, we have The Gorison Traveler Incident, which is Veslor Mates #1 by Laurann Dohner. I love Laurann Dohner's New Species series. I've read a couple of other books by her. Unfortunately, only New Species is at my library, so I've had to pay for the other ones, and they didn't blow me away, but I've heard nothing but great things about this one. And I had a subscriber, I think, comment and tell me, you know, that it's great, and I was tempted, and it was $2.99, and I was like, you and me, baby. Next I have Chosen by the Vampire Kings, which is the first in a serial by Charlene Hartnady. This was also, I think, commented by the same person. If not, it was commented by somebody else, this one and the next one, as a recommendation for authors, and I was tempted. And this is like a human girl is in this group that the vampires get to pick their mates from, and she's like, I'm just average, I'm not gonna get picked, but she does get picked, and things progress from there. And also I think she's like trying to convince them to like, hey, you don't want me, let me go, everything will be fine, go get yourself a hot one. So I think that'll be fun. Next I have Dark Planet Warriors by Anna Carven, and this is also a serial, and it's aliens, and I don't know what it's about. But I'm pretty sure he's deeply annoyed that he's attracted to her. So next is Betting on Fate by Katee Robert. This is Serve #4. I haven't read any of the other series. It's a standalone romance. They are business competitors. They have a bet, and the bet involves submissive and dominance, and it sounds really good. And I really like Katee Robert, and my library actually had this, and I was like, hey, let me check that out. Next, I have Rafe, a Buff Male Nanny by Rebekah Weatherspooon. I see nothing but amazing things about Rebekah Weatherspooon all the freaking time. And I've almost read the first in her like Haven series. a couple different times I've had it checked out from the library, and then I end up always not reading it. Like, I haven't even cracked the first page, and I know I've checked it out at least twice. So that's a problem. I've heard really amazing things about this. I was making a list of single parent romance books that I've loved, which made me in the mood to read a single parent romance, which led to me checking this out. Lastly, hopefully not least, I don't know, I haven't read the books, is By the Hour by Roni Lauren. This is interesting. First of all, I can't remember how I was recommended this. I know that it was like listed with one other book as like their favorite blah 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 romances, and I loved the other book, so I was like, oh, let me check that one out. And I can't remember who it was. I can't remember what the recommendation was based on. I have no idea. But I did check it out, and so I'm proud of me. It's about a doctor who's like an ice queen, and then there's this guy who's like the sex surrogate, and she's like, no, I'm not gonna date you because of that. And he's like used to being called trailer trash and stuff, even though like I believe he's like a doctor or something also now. So he's used to people looking down on him, and they kind of have hate sex. There's control issues, there's, you know, this dynamic, and I'm kind of here for it, and I want to see what happens. And whatever that recommendation was, I remember thinking, oh, I'm probably definitely gonna love this if they love both of these books. But who knows what that was, because my memory is trash. This is my first ever ebook haul. I hope you enjoyed. If you have an ebook haul recently, let me know. I love watching them. I'm a little bit addicted. I don't buy books physically. I don't really read books physically currently because it's very hard to do around young children without them getting in the middle of your book, so it's hard to get a good flow going. And I don't like to spend money on books, so I usually don't really buy ebooks either. Obviously, I will make an exception for a couple. So I love watching ebook hauls because a lot of times they're more accessible to me. Also, ebook hauls, you tend to see a lot of like random things where they're like, somebody said something that I was like, oh, sounds good. It was 99 cents. Psh. Yeah, let me know if you get that reference. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay. I will have another video for you hopefully very, very, very soon. Recording has been a little bit of a problem the last week or so, but hopefully that'll smooth itself out soon with my schedule. So thank you so much for watching. Stick around if you want romance recommendations. Thank you. Bye.